Cool. We should be live then. Let me check to make sure. That'd be probably a good idea to do. And for those who are watching the VOD, hi, hello. Perhaps like and subscribe. And also, if you want to go to the actual stuff, just skip a bit ahead, okay? Seems like we are live. Ain't that wonderful? Ain't that Peachy King? Cool. Cool. Okay. 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 Okay, cool. Okay. Need that post. Okay, cool. So, hello, Alma Nagara. Hope you're doing well. Sorry that I haven't been streaming in quite a while, guys. I have been very busy with a lot of construction in my house. It's just been really maddening. I haven't even been able to play Veilguard. I think I'm very close. Finally, Dragon Age 2 gameplay. Finally, Dragon Age 2 gameplay. Let's not dispense with the with the random like, oh, who cares, you know. No, let's just wait. New Walk Dara video. I mean, this is Witcher 3. Dragon Age 2 gameplay. Okay, it's okay, man. I hope you're okay. No, I'm okay. It's just very busy, you know. Okay, so let's get right to it. Okay, Dragon Age 2 gameplay preview HD. Come on, let's go. Ads. Wait, this is just the. Oh, this is just the guy's intro. Okay, and it's cool.
Dragon Age 2's first act.
Yeah. Look at this. Beautiful. Blood. Very Dragon Age. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this lineup. Okay. Oh. Terrible mage armor. Oh, terrible. Oh. I hope we all love this Dragon Age 2 gameplay. I've heard this game, Dragon Age 2. I've heard it's pretty good, you know. So but jury's still out, you know. We have to wait for our opinions to be made, you know, by some like random ass YouTuber. Dwarves Zerton can't. Dwarves confirmed for Dragon Age 2. I hope they're playable. I hope we can play as dwarves, you know. I hope we can play as dwarves. Okay. So yeah, we are going to be covering Exodus's gameplay thing. I thought it was gonna be tomorrow because it's like, oh, tomorrow, yeah. But I was in tomorrow, so I was a bit confused on that front. So yeah. So yeah. Yo, I need my hero for Elden. Same, I also need my hero. Yeah, I wonder if the hero for Elden will pop up. You know, I mean, like, is this the hero for Elden? He looks like it, doesn't he? So yeah, we're just gonna be here waiting for them to do something. Still nothing. Might be a while, but we're chilling. We're chillaxing. Yeah, December 17th, which is today. Yeah, I thought it was today. Tune into the full trailer. Oh, on this person's Twitch channel. Might be important. Okay. So you haven't finished Veilguard yet? Yeah, I haven't finished Veilguard yet. Oh, we can also talk about the Witcher 3. That is also a good idea. We can go over the trailer and just like go there. People saying it's serious ugly now. Yeah, I don't get that. Like We can also look.
When we're putting something
Hello, Mark
secret
Darrow,
in
my
our...
beloved. You're so cool. Witcher 3, Sinner. So this is the one thing I always find these people very weird and fake. And that is like, oh yeah. Wait, hold on. Nothing. Okay. So this person will have the stream for Exodus. Still not live. Okay. Okay. I don't particularly get it because I'm like, okay, so have you seen like the trailers that The Witcher has always made, right? Like, I'm sorry. That gets to Geralt. This is not how Geralt looks in game. You know, this is quite clearly in that era of trailers where, oh yeah, most trailers aren't really like emblematic of the actual game, and that is what Witcher 4's trailer is to a T. It's literally just like a pre-rendered cinematic that's not going to be representative of the in-game, and so this is just like what the cinematic is. This is just like what CD Projekt has done. They've done it for Cyberpunk. They've done it for, you know, all their games, right? Which I don't think is bad. It's maybe a bit dishonest, you can say, but it's not bad. Is Epico, yeah, Zoltan. I haven't finished Vilgard yet. I really want to. I've been just accosted by like numerous people, just numerous construction stuff and whatnot. Still nothing. But while we wait, we can just go over this stuff. Still nothing. Okay. I mean, Siri can look unappealing from certain angles in the stills, but nature of motion capture is that it's still never. Yeah, right. Like, I don't know. For me, I don't think she looks bad at all. I mean, he is my sort of beef with some of the Witcher stuff. Is like, I'm sorry, man. I know people like Geralt from The Witcher 3, but I don't know. I liked how he looked in Witcher 1. It was more emblematic of what the witches are supposed to be, which are like ugly dudes. You know, like, look at him. Like, look at my man. Okay, my man is not looks maxing. Okay, my man is like a bit fugly. You know, like, someone definitely love him, and that's like the sort of mystique, like of like why the witches are so appealing to a lot of people in lore, which is they're like monster men. Okay, they are inherently dangerous, and there's sort of a lure to that, right? It's like, yeah, but then he's just like, oh yeah, chiseled jaw, straight jaw, beautiful eyes. The scars just make him look more beautiful, you know, instead of where it's like, it's not doing any favors, you know. Cinematic is not the same as gameplay graphics. Yeah, it's not the same as gameplay graphics, because when we get to the actual like Witcher 3 like actual graphics, where is it? Where? No. I just want to see the in-game graphics, please. Yeah, so then if we actually get to the in-game one, like, this is what Geralt looks like, right? Yeah, and like you can see like there's some like carryover design, but like it's completely different, you know. Ugly people deserve love too. Yeah, man, and that's the one thing I do kind of miss that some RPGs have. Even like Larian did it to an extent. Baldur's Gate 3 companion concept art, which is a lot of the concept art that was made for the companions shows, gosh darn, I'm just getting regular art, chose to be a lot more safer and a lot more broadly appealing, which I get why, you know. I'm just kind of like, I don't know, man, I kind of wanted more. Companion concept art, where is it now? Maybe this will help me. Honestly, I wanted it to be a custom Witcher, like the pre-alpha. Oh, yeah. No, same, Zerlton. This is just obviously me just like wanting every video game to be a Bioware game. No, I will not give you my analytics. Which is, I wanted You know, like not to have Ciri. Like I get why. You know, Ciri's like basically the de facto protagonist of the Witcher series. But I love having RPG characters just being a customization of me and what I want. It's why I like Bioware games so much, you know, and always like I love Geralt, right? Geralt's a cool character. The series is also a cool character, but I love having my own character in it, you know. It's cool, enjoyable. Still nothing. Okay, might take a bit. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I just wanted to check quickly just to see some of the concept art because I know for a fact they kind of went a bit safe on some of the companion stuff. Um, it is a beautiful game though. That's like, I'm gonna be able to find it, but I do remember like vividly there was some concept, like out there concept art, for the companions, and they kind of like toned a lot of it back because they wanted to like, oh, we wanted to be a bit more broadly appealing, you know. My basic just is like I don't particularly like how so many like RPGs and games like, and it makes sense why they do the broadly appealing. It just means a lot more people engage. Because, yeah, fun fact, who actually wants to actually talk about it and like ugly characters? You know, not a lot of people. You know, especially when they treat like RPGs as sort of like fantasy stuff. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get it because this looks similar to how like Karlach looks in game. But you get my point. Um, it'd be cool to see a lot more like uglyish characters. Um, my favorite debeatification thing in gaming ever is our Red Dead Redemption teeth. I'm not necessarily sure what you mean. Oh, you mean like the teeth looks bad? I mean, yeah, right, yeah. If that's what you mean. Oh yeah, totally. I love Rook for how it's both a kind of their own character, but there's enough to channel Mass Effect through him. Yeah. That's what I like as well. You know, it's cool to have that sort of. Oh, okay. Then I get you. Yeah. I mean, yeah, right. It just makes it. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily use like ugliness as a tool for storytelling as much. You know, or for like world building. You know, because like Red Dead Redemption is, you know, set in the western period of America, yeah, cowboys and stuff. And I promise you, none of them had like dental care. Okay, the most you could do was like chew on some leaves for like numbness of pain and maybe to like this with your teeth. But like for the most part, you know, yeah, not Mass Effect. Me as in the pronoun. Me as in the pro. Are you woke, Zoltan? You as the pronoun? What? But no, I get you. I get you. But yeah, that aside, we can actually just like look at the trailer and see what it's about. Shall I get anything? Okay, so nothing there. Nothing here. Cool. And cool. It says that sneak peek. Tune to see the full trailer tomorrow, December, on this guy's channel. Okay. Cool. Exodus, the new Mass Effect. Yeah, right. Like some barring some weird holdovers that I have with like people who will basically use Exodus as a bludgeoning tool against like Mass Effect and Bioware. No, I mean it's a Mass Effect game, but going in a different direction. You know, a script that I'm writing about it, I basically say that like yeah, it's a spiritual successor, but what it's like building off of is more the choices aspect of Mass Effect than anything else. Because a lot of Mass Effect, like conceptually, was made from the idea that hey, what if we take these choices that we've imported from like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, but span it over a trilogy and a much more involved overarching journey, right? Where you'll see that your consequences more vividly, right? Which you kind of did in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, but not to the same extent, and not as cinematically, right? So yeah, I mean, I think it's a new Mass Effect game, but in a very different way. But yeah. Anyways, while we wait, mayhaps we go through this, perhaps.
Dearest daughter, I've watched ye grow from a devilishly curious child into a remarkably young lass with much grace, wisdom, and kindness. Tain't the easy times what shape us, nay. 'Tis how we rise to face the hard times what does that for us. Ye've an heart of gold. Ye've the spirit to overcome adversities aplenty. Darling, sweeten. Today's the day ye fill out your destiny.
Now, I do think this is a very, like, Witcher thing to do. I haven't seen anything Exodus, but I have the feeling it's not dumb enough. I don't know, too serious Mass Effect had their blockbuster sincerity, no matter how clever the lore was. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Zoltan. I do agree with you. I feel like a lot of the developer interviews do kind of carry the feeling of like, we know, we understand. Like, they're kind of embarrassed about some of the aspects that they do. And Mass Effect had a weird sincerity to a lot of its writing, even the sillier stuff, Like Kylane's very dumb, but it was very sincere in making Kylan seem like a threat, It was like, yeah, Kylan is a threat. They're a huge problem, and like we have to take them seriously, right? There was no this like sort of, we know Kylan's a silly Billy, he's a wacky guy. There was a sense of, hey, Kylan is a huge threat, and like it does feel like with Exodus, it's trying to be a bit too serious and maybe a bit embarrassed to some of the more sillier sci-fi opera side, and that's one thing that I do think is weird that a lot of the marketing is trying to tell is like trying to portray Exodus as a hard sci-fi setting, which I find very odd. Because to me, hard sci-fi is basically saying, yeah, so probably there's nothing, we can't really do fast and light travel. The most we can do is that weird, like, stretching time thing that you can move forward, and that's it. But the whole, like, giant gates going through time and, like, fast traveling. Sorry, hold on. Well, I'm back. Someone just had to grab something. But anyways, I was just saying, Exodus, can kind of feel like, especially with the way the developers talk about it, like there's some sort of like embarrassment of something, especially with how they talk about like the space opera or the sci-fi nature of it. Like, I'm sorry, Exodus is not a hard sci-fi. It's not hard sci-fi. Floating structures is a weird thing to do because we can make like magnets float and stuff like that, but the industrial capabilities and also the power for that seems a bit odd, It does. Exodus is definitely a space opera, but a lot of its marketing is trying to make it seem like a hard sci-fi that they've gone through like dozens and dozens of scientific literature just to make it as accurate as possible. And like, I mean, yeah, I guess, but like that was never Mass Effect, and that's not what Exodus is, at least. If we don't see a bugged horse, I won't be playing. Yeah, man. If it's not a Witcher game otherwise. To this day, I don't get Kylan hate. He's not very flat. I assume you say fleshed out. But man, he is bad. Yeah, I mean, I like Kai Lane as well, right? Like, I don't think Kai Lane as a character is bad, nor bad to have at the end of the game, or end of the series rather. I just think that a lot of people's issue with Kai Lane is that it's very unexpected. You know, it wasn't really set up. If we had like Kai Lane introduced in Mass Effect 2, and we had have sort of like helped him on a few quests, right, to set him up as this like rival to Shepard in some ways, you know, then I think a lot of people would be more accepting of him. But otherwise, I think is like there's nothing wrong with him. His voice acting is really good. His like the actions he takes throughout the game is really good. Like there's nothing wrong with Kai Lane, you know. It's just a lot of people are just like Kai Lane, you know. It's because Shepard acts like a idiot whenever Kai Lane shows up. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Alma. Because like acting like an idiot to me is like Shepard doesn't do the smart right thing. Hold on. Someone's vacuuming. Because like Shepard does as much is smart in those situations as any other situation, right? Like when Kai Lane is like killing Thane or gonna get the counselor, right? Like Kai Lane just like beats him to it, right? Kills Thane, you know, just like as there, right? There isn't, how do I say? I don't think the situations that we're in with Kai Lane like could have been done differently. At least to me. Remember the car scene? Shepard could just flip the car. The car scene, is that the one on the Citadel when they're like chasing him? I'm not. And we can smash him in Thessia, but we are forced to lose. Yeah, we can smash him in Thessia, but the difference is that he has literally a vehicle that can kill us. You know, right there. I'm not necessarily sure which. As the car scene, I can't remember. You're gonna have to like give me more specifics if it's on the Citadel or not. Well, that's the realities of a game dev. Kai Lane kind didn't exist circa Mass Effect 2. Dragon Age development also shows no matter how much it's rewritten, there are going to be changes. Yeah. There are always going to be changes. Like Dragon Age is, I think, by far one of the more coherent like worlds and settings in like most media and most fictions. And even then, it has to like go to the whims of, oh yeah, since it's a game and not like a book, it'll be subject to the fact that it'll change a bunch, you know, because that's the nature of it. Hold on, before we continue, let me just check if they're starting now. I could have also nah, but it's fine. Still nothing there. Oh, that's fine. During the car chase, he jumps in our car hood, and Shepard just stares at him. I'm gonna have to watch that scene again, just to see, cause I know from I can remember that scene, but okay, we're gonna have to look then. We're gonna have to look. You okay? Sure. Kai Lane car scene. Because I do remember that scene. I just can't remember most obnoxious tryhard. I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. I do feel like is Kai Lane like not great or could have been better? I mean, yeah, sure, man. But I just don't particularly get like the profound hatred that so many people have, you know. I really do feel like it's more just, why did Kai Lane come into this game when I'm a banner? Okay, so oh, okay. We are. Okay, so I will agree that Shepard could have just like turned the vehicle. Yeah, because this is more than enough time. And I don't see any implication that Yeah, I don't see any implication. Yeah, Shepard could have just like turned it and just like killed him there. Though I don't think most of his scenes are able to do that. I'll give you that one then. When Thane or Kira are fighting him, Shepard could join the fight again, but just theirs. No, that fight happens a bit too fast, okay? And like when Shepard tries to join the fight, it's like, okay, here's the thing when you fight like another person, like two people who are fighting, okay? When two people are like fighting each other and you're trying to get in to like help a guy, you have to be aware that of the space around you and the people who are fighting, right? If it's like literally two people who have no fighting experience whatsoever, then like yeah, right? Like you can easily get in there without like harming the person you want to help, you know? But if it's with two people who are trained assassins, right? Then it's a lot harder to intervene because in that situation it's going to lead to a lot more it's going to lead to a lot more injury and death, you know, because of the nature of how a trained assassin would try to interact with two people fighting you at once, you know. Even Kyle, who I think wouldn't necessarily be able to beat Thane at his prime, would still. Oh, thanks. You're actually like, oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah, because like there's this one thing with a lot of knights that happened in medieval warfare, which is when two knights fight each other, okay, it basically became inevitable until it just became a wrestling match, and to see who can stab who in the closed bits of your armor, right, in the gaps of your armor, right. Unless you had something like a bludgeoning weapon where you could just like bash their armor in, you know, then you would just simply just like drop your sword and just like wrestle them because you wouldn't be able to slice it, you know. An archer wouldn't be able to get it, right? So yeah, I think in that, and especially because the way that that fight scene plays out with Thane and Kyle, it's too fast, you know, for it to happen. Then again, Mass Effect 3 is kind of overrated. Yeah, Mass Effect 3, like, here's the thing, right? If Mass Effect 3 ended with the Crucible basically firing and then, like, oh, the Reapers are destroyed whatsoever, you know, and the war assets maybe, like, determined if everyone died or everyone didn't, right? And then it just had, like, a quick credit scene of, like, characters saying, like, what was it? Like, Admiral Hackett saying, due to Shepard's decision of curing the genophage, it led to a lot of both expected and unexpected outcomes. Under Rex's leadership, the Krogan became like stuff like that, you know, and then we just like, cool. No one would have hated Mass Effect 3. A lot of people would have come saying like, oh, the Rachni choice or consequence was kind of dumb. Oh, like some of the other choices were kind of dumb and stuff. But overall, I think a lot of people like, oh, like Vigil. What was it? The Prothean, I can't remember his name. Javik. Javik being a DLC is kind of dumb. Like all of that would have still been very fair, you know, but not as hated as before, you know. It was really the ending that really blew a lot of people up. The thing with Kylan is he looks cool and he has a cool backstory, but it's not expected on the games, but in the comics. Yeah, and that is a criticism you can make, you know. Hold on. I want to make sure if you guys hear this. Okay, cool. You guys can't hear that. That's cool. Just making sure you guys can't hear that because there's an alarm there right now. Funny that. But anyways, what was it? Yeah, I mean that is an issue. I remember when I read, I think it was it was Ascension, Destination. It was the third book of the Mass Effect series. And I read it. I'm like, oh, cool, Kylane's there, right? It's cool to see like Kylane's perspective and stuff. And like, that's I think the issue with Garland. It's just like he doesn't have enough setup. There's nothing wrong with his character. There's nothing wrong with like most of the scenes, other than like that car one that you mentioned. Overall, I think he's fine. You know, Caroline was in a novel. Yeah. But anyways. Oh yeah, I just want to say like this is really like a Witcher kind of moment where, oh, we know the setup for this. Oh, it seems like this lady is going to be sacrificed to this like ritual that this like village from middle of nowhere is practicing. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. The father doesn't want to happen, but there's this random traditionalist guy who wants it to happen. Like, it's a very Witcher thing to introduce. You know, a very Witcher, and especially the way that the clothes look. Like, you can definitely tell from like the contrast of her bright clothing compared to everyone else's like very drab and basic clothes. It's a very like Witcher-esque choice. Oh, very Witcher-esque.
Forgive me, daughter. 'Twere my only choice.
I shall be the bringer of salvation.
A Witcher? Witcher! Whose coin did ye take? Nay, nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition. Chosen she is, by the gods!
No!
One random thing I always wondered about the Witcher series is that they never really talk about their gods too much. So Slavic coded too, so close to my heart. Yeah, I mean this is so Slavic coded. Okay, you can feel like the Slavs here just going like, yeah, that's exactly like my Slavic nation. Like every Slav, like every Serbian's like, yeah, this is like mine. Every like Croatian is like, yeah, this is mine. Every like Albanian is like, yeah, this is mine. You know, it is very pretty. You know, I actually don't like the Bringer Salvation line, but oh well. Why don't you like it? I think it's fine. Oh yeah. I mean, we could talk about that. It was confirmed in a developer interview that
Nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition.
Yeah.
Chosen she is, by the gods!
No!
She has the Witcher eyes, so it is confirmed that she went through the trial of grasses. Title said, "Hey, Casual Panda, I want to ask you this. Do you think that I wouldn't have checked already?" Title says Exodus. We are going to cover Exodus. In the meantime, we're just waiting for it to come out. Unless this came out already and I'm a fool. Wouldn't that be funny? Has it come out yet? Nope. It hasn't come out. It hasn't come out yet. We're going to cover the trailer, Casual Panda. We're just going to do it when it's out. Which it isn't. So in the meantime, we're just going to be watching some of that stuff. It's so generic, like a blandest phrase ever, but again, I don't really mind. I get it. I get that. I just want to pull this up, Witcher 4, just to talk about like developer interviews and stuff. I think we know. Okay. Yeah, no, I get what you mean by like, oh, it's kind of a blind line. The only issue I can really bring up with it is, would a village in the middle of nowhere be able to like understand like, oh, bringer of salvation? You know, it feels more like an overly dramatic thing that she was feeling cliche. Yeah. Instead of saying like, I will save us from this village. Like it's very dramatic, you know, in a way that I'm not necessarily sure it's reasonable. And it's coming back now. This is our dog, Cubey. Over. Yeah, she's very cute, you know. Actually, that makes sense. The ritual is a theatrical nature. I mean, yeah, yeah, she's very small. She's about this size, you know. We have another dog named Lily, and she is like big. They're all such as dogs, but like, our dog Lily is very big, and they're also like because such as dogs were bred to hunt rabbits, you know. We have this one dog named Snowy, and she loves digging into holes, right? She loves to like find it, and she's like killed some rats that we've had. and it's very funny to me because it's like, they would bring these little rats, and Clover is like too much of a princess to do that, you know. And so, but Snowy, our other dog, she's a hunting dog, right? Good job. Unconfirmed for gameplay. Witcher combat. Story, yeah, it's gonna be Ciri. Oh wait, I need to talk about the Tron, the Grasses, and then series of Saginaw, so we'll go from here. Combat, gameplay. Yeah, cool. We'll get to that later because we do have to talk about some other things like the ending choice thing. Major. But anyways, as Alma Nigeria pointed out, she has the Witcher eyes, so it is confirmed that she went through the Trial of Grasses, which is definitely an interesting choice. I don't think it's a bad one, at all. I do know some people will be like, but in lore it says women can't do it. But obviously Ciri's a bit of a different than any normal woman, okay? She's a special woman, I might say. So yeah. It also explains like why she doesn't have like her overpowered abilities, because she went through the Trial of Grasses. So that is interesting. I wonder if we'll get any backstory on that, you know, because that would be interesting.
You chose her.
And it's also going to be very interesting to see how Ciri, because Geralt's a very different character. Geralt throughout the entire series has always been like treating himself as an apolitical figure, a monster hunter, nothing else. If he gets paid, he'll do it. If he doesn't, he's not going to do it, right? He's not going to do more than he's asked. You know, and if he's asked to like kill someone or whatnot, he's just going to refuse. But always in the end, like decides like in the books he died in a pogrom, right? In like in a hovel made for impoverished elves, you know. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. He died there defending them, and he wasn't paid for it. He just did it because that's what it is. Like most people in the books constantly say to Geralt, like, Geralt, goddamn, stop trying to get yourself killed, my guy, because he keeps getting into political causes even when he says he doesn't, you know. So it's gonna be interesting to contrast this with Ciri, because Ciri constantly will always like try to fight for things to be better, you know, and won't really take coin for it, you know. I'm curious to know how our powers will work. Yeah. My understanding, I'm not sure if it's confirmed. We'll read the interview stuff. Is that Ciri, like through the Trial of Grasses, probably her powers were removed, gone, muffled, or something like that. It will be interesting to see what The Witcher 4 will be about, though, because the Witcher series 1 and 2 definitely feel like CD Projekt Red trying to get a handle on like how to make a Witcher story. Witcher 3 was like their success in that. But Witcher 1 was like very confusing in the sense of like, what are we trying to do? Okay, so Kaer Morhen was attacked by Salamandra to gain like the studies, experiments, and all that kind of stuff from the Witchers to use it for something else. We as Geralt died before, but we were brought back to life somehow, and now we're hunting Salamandra. We also have amnesia, so whatever inconsistencies Geralt has can be chalked up to amnesia, you know. But it's like, okay, cool, and then we meet a boy named Alvin who can travel through time like he's like a Destiny child, and then we over the course of the game we, you know, eventually find out that Alvin was actually the big antagonist at the end. Like, okay. It was, and like, here's the thing, right? Alvin is supposed to be like a sit-in for Ciri. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, and it's a very weird story and a very weird way to go about it. It's almost like episodic, you know, where it has no real connection to anything beforehand, because it doesn't really advance the plot, you know. It's just kind of like another wacky adventure in Geralt's life, you know. Same with like Witcher 2. Geralt was framed for killing Foltest when he actually didn't, and now he's trying to like prove himself to prove his innocence, you know. and then it's just like, okay, cool, another wacky adventure, and then Witcher 3 is disconnected from that like plot event, and now it's about finding Ciri. It's like all very disconnected, So I wonder how Witcher 4 is going to do this, especially with a Wild Hunt over, like what is the sort of main plot, Is it more of a sort of low stakes plot where the plot is literally Ciri wanders around just doing stuff, or is it going to be more of an overarching thing? I wonder. Hope the endings are better than Cyberpunk. I mean, yeah, I remember when I saw Cyberpunk's endings, I kind of like, oh, okay, sure, all right. Like, it was very like, I don't know, it wasn't as impactful as I thought it would be, But I guess that's due to the nature of like Cyberpunk's story, or at least the story that it was trying to tell, which was, you got like a dude in your head, and and you're going to die unless you resolve it. Like there's only one way for that to resolve, and that is you take them out of your head, or you get possessed by them, or you die. And obviously like that involves corporate shenanigans and stuff like that. But I don't know, it just doesn't feel as impactful. Witcher 2 is the funniest illustration of the phrase "Witchers are neutral." Geralt, I'm neutral. Yes, I will. Yes, I will go along with the monarchists. Yes, I will go along with the anti-state elves. Yes, I will go along and create a nation made specifically to have for oppressed people. Yes, I will kill kings and queens. But okay, Geralt. Okay. Cyberpunk endings are kind of great, huge in my. You're gonna have to necessarily explain that for me, Zeralton, because when I saw those endings, and maybe because okay, I'll say I haven't played the game, but I did see the endings because I was in that kind of phase where I kind of like disliked CG Project Red on principle, more because like people dislike them, more because they use them to like hate on Bioware, right? Roche's Bay just saying, I mean that is true, But like when I saw the Cyberpunk endings, right, and maybe with context I'll get them more. I just kind of felt like, okay, you have the endings where you die like a legend. You have an ending where like you ride out with the nomads. You have an ending where you just like let Johnny possess you. You have an ending where you die. Like I don't know. There are no true happy endings. Man, I mean, I don't think that's unexpected for like Cyberpunk to be. I just thought it would be a lot more impactful, a lot more involved, because their whole understanding is that like the corporations don't care for you, and like the average person's life in Cyberpunk is destined to wallow in suffering. And I don't necessarily feel like the endings really convey that, especially because like when you're in a video game that's supposed to be that's inherently about you being empowered, there's no like moment where you're being disempowered and it feels like a natural conclusion. I feel like in this instance Cyberpunk being an RPG is where it kind of hinders itself, because the aspect of like, oh, you get to choose your ending. No, I don't know. I necessarily think if it wanted to really hone in on its dystopia, it probably should have like had the final like segment be you being disempowered bit by bit until you just die. The Arasaka Corporation just like takes Johnny and just like uses the engram for whatever, and like kills you or leaves you to suffer and wallow. Cyberpunk endings work when you get to spend time with Johnny and experience his arc. For me, this arc was great and made me very emotional about the endings. Plus, I mean, yeah, maybe these endings is in the tone of the game. Cyberpunk is a great narrative with. I mean, okay, yeah. Then I just maybe need context then. I am trying to get over that like weird vestigial hatred I did have on principle. So because like even Witcher 3, it kind of affected me, where I was kind of like, yeah, and people are saying like this is Bioware game, But yeah. Hold on, let me see if perhaps they're starting the Exodus thing. Yeah, I think I maybe didn't understand it. Because looking at it now on like a different screen, my time is a bit different. When it says like 9 a.m. PT, it's actually 7 p.m. my time. So I missed it then. So it's gonna happen in like 20-ish minutes. No, 13 minutes. 13 minutes. Oh, I hated Cyberpunk the first time I played it, but they improved the game a lot and the story packed. I mean, I'll be one of those people and say like Cyberpunk's game, like as in launch, if it didn't have bugs, it would have been fine. You know, no one really disliked it. It was just because it was so buggy, you know. I will say a lot of people probably overblow how RPG-ish CD Projekt Red is, in the sense of like, oh, it's like Fallout New Vegas or something like that, because it's not, you know. Very Witcher. We have a dog forest with a presumably virgin girl singing the very true song.
Back to the village. Go, now.
Nay! I must save them! Save the village!
Save yourself!
Now this is something I do think that which is a
Save
seriousism,
yourself.
which I think maybe some people will dislike, which is save yourself. Where Ciri is very like individualistic to a not to an extreme, but to sometimes a detriment, because her argument to this person whose entire reason of doing this is so that she can save the community she's a part of is, don't give a shit about them, save yourself. Like, Ciri, that may have worked for you, that doesn't work with her, you know. Which I think is good because it demonstrates Ciri's character, you know. The kind of arguments characters will use demonstrates who they are as people and what they value, you know.
Run! To shelter! To your father! Run!
Probably she knows it's just superstition. Yeah, but again, here's the thing, right? If I was in this situation, I would have told the girl to like, you don't need to sacrifice yourself to save everyone. You sacrifice yourself won't save anyone, right? Because her whole point in doing this is to save like the community she's a part of, right? But Ciri, as a character, doesn't necessarily think of that way. She more thinks it in like individualistic sense. And also, I don't think you convince like these people in the middle of nowhere that like, oh, by the by, your religion is wrong. I don't think that would be a strong argument. I also like how frantic she is. Geralt was a very like cool individual in the sense of he kept his head on, right? Even in these like very tense situations, he would never like show any real emotional reaction. That's because his character. But you can see Ciri's like getting a bit frazzled, which I think is cool. That looks cool. There's a shot where she moves like Geralt somewhere. Oh yeah. It's easy to do this one. And there's another one. You can't change anything. And again, like in Witcher tradition, it's very gory. I also like how she like exasperates herself afterwards. Again, like contrast to Geralt. Geralt just like, okay, cool, done, and just moves and just leaves and goes because he's like very together like that. But Ciri's like much more expressive, which I like.
She were to go to the woods. The chosen one. His tradition.
And like in Witcher tradition, the quest always resolves in a dark way, even if you didn't want it to. Which is very expected for me. Because it's like, oh yeah, so yeah, you thought you saved them? No, they just died. They just died in the end. Which is like, again, I think like very witchery.
Oh no, no, no. It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods, to go to the gods.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Now, I also like this for a lot of reasons. For one, it's very in character for Ciri to just be like, okay, I hate you all. Because it can, again, contradicts Geralt. Geralt would just like apologize to the guy there, and then just leave and just go and walk away, right? He wouldn't have like done anything else because that's Geralt, right? He this happened to him a lot, and he's not really that emotional because of the whole, you know, being a Witcher stuff, and you know, kind of suppressing emotions. And Ciri though confronts them, like actually like goes very visibly angry and might do something about it, you know, which I think Belgard 2, which is a form of like Belgard 2. Am I right? But yeah, which I think is going to be interesting to see how you play as Ciri and what sort of choices you get to make as Ciri, right? Because Ciri is again going to be a very different protagonist from Geralt, and it's going to be interesting to see like how that affects the choices we make, you know. But yeah, that's it. And then the Witcher story, we're kicking off a brand new Witcher saga. Oh, okay. Ciri, for the longest time we wanted Ciri to be the protagonist, it just felt natural for us. Okay, cool. She's open curious. Russian survival, get the senses. Sorry. I just wanted to say, this opens up uncharted territory where relationships with Russians are just in point. She's open, curious, and drawn to people for. We couldn't be gay as Geralt, okay? But we can be gay as Ciri. God damn. Thank you so much, CD Projekt Red. Thank you so much. You get a sense of the first time series in which there's contract needed. Oh, okay. In the first, which yeah, okay. Main character adopted. On one hand, she's very similar to Geralt. A continuer values her honorable rate, but she's also, yeah, okay. Was never doubt from. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Open world is going to open worlds again, which I think is interesting that CD Projekt Red is going to be continued to do an open world, even though I don't necessarily think it's to its strengths. You know, Witcher 1 and 2 were better games because they were very linear and more segmented, right? Not because they were open world. And in many ways, Witcher 3 failed with its narrative urgency because it was so open world, right? Like the whole point of is to save Ciri, but you could literally say something happening. Reminder. Okay, so we're gonna have to watch this carefully. Well, let's just drop this up quickly. I don't think the open world is to the strength of the Witcher series or to like CD Projekt in general. Because I don't think they resolve the conflict between the urgency of the main quest and the sort of draw of an open world, which is to explore. Interesting consequences. Theory, engine, yeah, Unreal Engine. Did Geralt die? Okay, hold on. Ending. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. While Witcher 3 hinted, while it's possible to now get a better sense of the canon ending of Geralt, in The Witcher 3, Core chose Ciri becoming a Witcher, becoming an Empress for dying. We know the third option is out of the picture, which is so instead we'll look into a world, albeit something in very interested. Okay, this doesn't really answer the question of Witcher 4 endings canon. Because I remember one thing someone said is that all the endings for Ciri is canon, right? I mean, except for the one they die, right? But they're all canon, which I would like to say, Empress one, and I wonder if there's a confirmation. Yeah, this seemed like the proper ending for the canon. Following this further over. Okay, so am I just being fed false information? Canon ending for Witcher 3. The Witcher 4 gives a... Okay, am I just being... Okay, because I remember someone saying like, oh yeah, the CD Projekt Red says they'll try to make the Empress Ciri ending canon as well. Which I don't see at all. I'm just seeing like, it seems to be. In one of the other two endings, after there's was a chance that this can still be canon, but let's be real, it's probably. So for now, on the final battle, then she becomes a Witcher. CD Projekt confirmed that the game will not spoil any ending. Yep, the Ciri dies ending was very ambiguous. Okay. IGN interviews suggest that none of the endings are canon, all can lead into 4. So it's a little odd, especially when the interview says she is starting her Witcher journey because the conflicts with the Witcher ending 2, where the obvious is not the case. Yeah, I don't know. CD Projekt was never really great at carrying over choices from prior games. Was never great from carrying choices from prior games. So I'm surprised they're trying to make it all canon, at least the Empress one, because I still think it undermines the idea of what an Empress Ciri is. A lot of people, including myself, who chose the Ciri ending, was like, oh yeah, the reason we chose it was because we wanted to see Ciri as an Empress in the next game, right? And to basically say like, oh, I mean, we're just disregarding that, you're not going to see that at all, or, you know, that's not really be an important part of it, then like, you know, why even have it there? You know, why not just break the facade and say like one's canon and one's not? You know, like anyone remember the Witcher 2 choice of making a nation? That wasn't really relevant in Witcher 3. Destined. One of Ciri's sword, at any rate. First time comes. Okay, yeah, this doesn't really say anything. Yeah, doesn't. Yeah. I don't think Drew said anything regarding that. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find it. Someone says in an IGN interview, and I don't see that IGN interview. I'm like, okay, where's this mysterious IGN interview? You know. Witcher for IGN. Interview. And they haven't released it yet. It is a minute past 9 a.m. In America, and they haven't even talked about it. I said I won't miss it. We'll be there. Yeah, me too, Connie Elizabeth. Me too. Let me just make sure I got the right one. Open, close. Yeah, still nothing. Still offline. The interview is unlocked after you beat. Ah, shit. Damn. Well, now I'm gonna have to beat Veilguard just to get this Witcher thing. The one complication is probably the idea that there is an ending and Ciri can die, and thankfully the ending, which is one of the made to isn't clearly cut. There are hints in the ending that, okay, so it says Mahir, there are hints in that ending that highlight the fact that she probably does not die. And so regardless of the events you personally witness at the end of your own Witcher 3 playthrough, the sequel will not break any canon or even offend any canon. I don't know, man. I'm sorry, man. When people saw Ciri die, it was a thank you. I'll trust you, Zoltan. When people saw Ciri die, I imagine a lot of people like, okay, so she's dead, right? This is the consequence of Geralt like not being a good father figure, right? Because he died. I mean, she died because of his actions. So it makes sense for why it ended up like this, right? Like there's no doubt in my mind that's what most people thought it was going to be like. But I don't know. I just think that's maybe kind of a cop-out answer. I don't know. Because like, especially for Empress Ciri, we obviously know Ciri like wants to be a Witcher, right? But we have to like understand that in Blood and Wine, if you didn't like hook up with anyone, Ciri comes in and talks about her time there, and she said like she doesn't particularly like it, but she's gonna try her best, I don't know. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but I will say it's. I guess this is more like me having residual like dislike for people who hate Bioware for no reason. Is no one's gonna call this fucking out, okay? Everyone's gonna be like, Ciri Witcher ending, that's the only one I did, and not really acknowledge that like all the other endings weren't really made into plot divergences, right? Well. Well, that's Witcher 4 then. I'm excited personally because I do think the Witcher series is a cool series. Bar the first two games being a bit weird. It is 4 minutes past 9. And they haven't even dared put it up. Live now? Never mind. We're live. Stream is about to. Gosh damn it. Damn it. What do you mean? Stream's about to start. What do you mean? Whatever. Hyped? Yeah. I'm curious about The Witcher. Yeah, I'm also curious as well. I will miss the very crude like baseball nude cards. I will miss that because that was a very like funny part of the game. Just collecting all those cards. But like it's fine. But I imagine like what The Witcher 1 will be is maybe a test bed for the ideas of Witcher 4, so it can be like refined, At least that's what I think. I wonder if Witcher 2 will be remade. Okay, we don't need you anymore. Man. I couldn't finish the first game. I did. I thought it was fine. There was some like there were some issues I had with it. Like some of the gameplay like segments where it was like, oh okay. I kind of disliked how weirdly difficult some quests were to just finish. And like how hard some sections were. How do you know the cards won't return? I don't know. I think one of the developers said they're not going to return. I'm getting the feeling Witcher 4 is before, which maybe, I don't know. Maybe. Though I don't know. I don't know. Because like I think it would be weird if Witcher 4 came out than Witcher 1, right? Because I feel like Witcher 1 could have been just used as a test bed to just like experiment with the ideas with Unreal Engine and then just go from there. Oh my gosh. These streamers. I want you to stream now. Okay. Get hyped. Stream is about to start. I'm waiting. Okay, but while we wait, I guess. Yeah. So this is gonna be like, from what I understand, a interview with the developers of Exodus and like just showcasing the gameplay itself. So it'll be interesting to see like how that goes. We will like pause for the no politics. Buddy, don't you know everything politics? But anyways, this is gonna be like showing the gameplay and then oh hush.
That overlay that didn't work. 1 second. We are over here for Exodus.
Okay, just tell me
Now,
if you can hear it, guys.
Exodus is a project that many of you have heard of, but we do not know a huge amount about. So today we are taking a very special look, not only at the game itself, but also some of the world
Oh gosh darn it.
first gameplay that we have. So before we begin, let's go ahead and
Sorry guys, we're gonna have to really
about Exodus today and share some of the things that are going on here with the game in the studio. I'd like to introduce James Olin, our studio head. James.
Hi, James Olin. I don't know if
Hey,
it's just you guys,
yeah, it's
but
gonna
Twitch
be
is always terrible
a really
for me.
exciting session, and we're also having a special guest star, the guy behind Secret Level, Tim Miller.
Hi, James Olin. I see you're excited. Hi, Tim Miller.
It is my honor to be here as a longtime friend of James, and we've been working with them on Exodus for a while. So I'm proud to finally get to put it out there for the rest of the world.
Oh my gosh, Twitch. Why do you do this to me?
excellent. And how about us up top? James,
Good show.
you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you're doing on the project?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yes. Oh, I'm
Yo,
sorry.
James!
We have-
Holy shit.
All right.
Oh my god.
Just introduce me. He's forgiving.
Dad introduced me. So yeah, I'm the head of the studio and the creative head for the Exodus franchise.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, on that note, I know a lot of you are wondering what exactly
Wait, so
this
he's the
is.
head of the franchise,
So
not
what we're
the
going to do right now is
actual-
we're going to fire this
not the
up.
actual
And we're going to take a look
developer? Okay, that's
exactly at what we know so far and go from there. So without further delay, let's take a look at what we know.
Okay, so this is gonna be very four white men.
She was not only
This is not woke.
but courageous. To save her planet, she was willing to sacrifice everything.
Okay.
Travel to the stars.
So we've
As a
seen this trailer
frontier
before.
We were barely hanging on, desperate. We tried digging up our past to find the key.
Also, just tell me if you can hear this, guys. If this is a bit too soft, I'll put it a bit louder.
Too much interference.
Hold on. I'm getting a reading.
Oh, I love lag. Why is Twitch like this? Low latency, mini player. Off? I don't know. Wow. Man, I hate Twitch. Oh gosh darn it, dude. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is Yeah, there's just all the trailers that we've seen before. Okay. Okay. I already mentioned Mass Effect. Wow. Gosh darn it. Twitch just eats up my internet. The stream has committed that. The stream has committed an exodus. It's not even 9 minutes in. Okay, well, we're not missing anything. This is literally like the trailer we first saw. Olive.
Hey, that's off limits.
Hey, you can't do that, man. This is private. Hey, what the? Also, sorry, I do like his eyes. His eyes are very funny to me.
I was always one step behind, looking for the light switch. The Celestials hunted us down. I knew they'd keep chasing us until they ripped our ship apart.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so...
And I had to save her.
I wonder why we're watching this again. The guy said like, oh, let's go through what we've seen so far, but I don't know. Also, I gotta say, I'm not really a big fan of the armor designs for Exodus. It's not as cool as Mass Effect.
I led them away from this world, away from her. We both knew the cost of using the gates. When you travel at light speed, time slows to a crawl.
Uh-huh. Like this stream. My gosh, dude. Why is... Twitch is always like this to me. I've never got into Twitch because, for whatever reason, Twitch has always, like, been so laggy for me. I can, like, maybe watch Twitch VODs, but even then, for some reason, Twitch just, like, lags the hell out of me.
I love you.
I do like this scene, though. It is very emotional.
Thank you.
One of the things I am a bit curious, though, about this whole, like, time dilation thing, right, is, like, are cultures actually going to change or not? Because that's one of the big things about time. Like, if you look at 15th century England and 16th century England, they're pretty different.
I say that sets the scene incredibly well. So I heard.
Yeah, I've heard the stream's lagging
Today.
Kind of like, so, yeah, it kind of does.
Something else.
It does a kind of like generic-ish sci-fi thing.
Chad, what are we thinking about that?
Well, I thought we could talk for maybe a half hour or so about the game first. I mean, what do you think?
Oh, so yeah, I think. What do you guys think? You think we should do that? I mean, we have a gameplay trailer that would show you how to play the game and like what it's about. But
before we do that, though, I think we should all just say, I mean, that trailer was amazing. Who made that trailer? I mean, whatever company did that under whoever's creative direction, based on the game, it's just a stunning tour de force and science fiction storytelling.
Unbelievable. If only we were in the presence of such a gentleman, it would just be amazing. I don't even know where to get started with that. So anyway, like
moving on.
What I think we're going to do is probably just talk about the gameplay for about half an hour and then maybe show it at the end if we
strap in, boys. He's serious, okay?
I mean, can we, Jeff? Is that...
They don't want to hear us talk?
Well, I mean, I'm a little insulted, but I think we could maybe make something work. So how about we see some world premiere gameplay from this game? Yeah? Okay.
Sounds great.
Sounds great.
Now, can I put this on a higher resolution without it bombing my entire internet. I might be a hater, but it kind of feels like this game is less yeah, kind of. Especially with the dude with the weird eyes. Okay, we saw this teaser. Oh, especially the way that the bridge forms. It's very Andromeda-ish. Yeah. It's good when company that's not BioWare does it. It's bad when BioWare does it. Fuck. Give me the goddamn trailer so I can look at it YouTube and not actually deal with Twitch. Please. I'm a poor boy from South Africa. Please. Oh my gosh. James Olm. I hate you. James Olm. This was just the teaser trailer. We could have just watched that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. I hope they release it. Yeah, scratch that. It looks like Andromeda. Yeah, it kind of does look like Andromeda. I wonder if you say that to James Olm. Hey, this kind of looks like Master Andromeda. What do you say? I want to see his like teeth kind of grind a bit. No, it's not. No, it's not. Oh gosh darn it. Please. Who are you? Bearded man? I like your beard. Oh my gosh, dude. Thank you.
That's what it means to be a traveler.
That's what it means to be a traveler. Is that the main guy? He doesn't have that kind of weight. James, I'm coming after you, okay? If you do not release this on something else other than Twitch, okay?
Ooh, okay. Wow. That was the first time that I have seen that. I specifically asked not to, and oh my lord, that's great. I have to say I was planning on not having stuff on the screen while we talk about this, but I don't know how we can not have this trailer running while we're talking. Because this is incredible.
Okay, finally we can watch this trailer.
Let's start at the beginning. A lot of people don't know where this project came from.
Gosh. Holy shit, I hate Twitch. Fuck. Just give me the trailer to analyze. I'll go over the VOD later. Gosh darn it. Oh my gosh. Why? Oh man. Yeah man. This is what it means to be a traveler.
Was to get Chad Robertson over here. Actually, I promised the now.
I love it when Twitch just doesn't let me do anything whatsoever and hates fun. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. I love when no fun is allowed.
We all wanted to work on, and
yeah.
well, I guess that's it for the studio. Unless Chad, do you want to he's the general manager, and he's been instrumental in building it up since then. So
do we have the trailer?
Yeah,
so
thanks, James. I mean, the only thing I'd add, that's a great intro. The only thing I'd add is that, as James said, our vision was to do something amazing in a new universe with science fiction from the beginning. And the team that we've built around that is focused on that kind of execution for making a great science fiction experience from the legacy of the other studios that we've worked at in our careers. And we're really excited to bring that to bear in Exodus. And
okay, I will go over, but from what I'm hearing, they're not really mentioning Mass Effect, which I think is odd. I was watching the trailer and got hit with unskippable ads. I hate Twitch. Yo, fuck, I hate Twitch. 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 Just stream on YouTube, okay? Please, 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 please. Anyways, disregard that, okay? Terrible Twitch. We'll go over the VOD later. To actually, talk about it. Wait.
Look of the game that you now see. So, yeah, without Tim, we wouldn't have that movie you just saw and a whole bunch of other cool stuff that we're not going to talk about now, but will come in the future.
Sorry,
but there's also, of course,
anyways, so we're going to go through. Okay. Let me just get this ready then. Okay, cool. So we're actually going to go through just the So we're just gonna go through the trailer instead of Twitch itself, because Twitch is just like not functioning whatsoever, and I hate it to bits and pieces. It's literally Hitler. It's literally Adolf Hitler. I don't know why it's so bad. We'll go over the VOD later. But in other words, let's begin this. Okay. Hi. So, Exodus has released, and it's gameplay trailer, and we're going to just go over it. It says it's the Traveler's Creed. Also, this has been a segment that was cut off from a VOD that I did of the stream. That'll be in the link description if you want to do that. We went through over some stuff like The Witcher 4 gameplay trailer. Not gameplay trailer, I mean, just gameplay stuff, just visual stuff. But for this, we're going to basically just go through this and analyze it and talk about it, you know? We're going to be pausing, skipping, and if I talk to some unknown people, it's going to be the YouTube chat. So, let's go. Also, hi, Black Sabbath, those of you doing well.
Preparing to transfer now. This is your last chance to bail, June.
Do it.
Bail, June, okay. As for gameplay, it's not really much the gameplay.
Loaded weapon is a hell of a way to greet your new partner.
So you're June.
We're burning time. Now that we're all best of friends, let's make each other rich. I'm not just here to look pretty. I've got away with celestial tech. I see a lot of potential in this new partnership.
Let me light the way for you.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so a couple of things so far. One is the sort of reasoning why we're here. It seems like June's there because of a partnership, not necessarily because of any big quest. That's interesting. It's very different from like Mass Effect does it. Mass Effect's story starts off with Commander Shepard is on the maiden voyage of the Normandy SR-1, going to Ian Prime, one of the first colonies humanity successfully, launched. And now we're going to basically, right, just take it as a trial run, go back to the council, and ooh, dandy, we're good. And Shepard is also being tested to be a Spectre. Okay, cool. No, it's actually going to be a huge kerfuffle, and it's actually going to be the start of a trilogy. This one is very small. I'm not sure if this is going to be something bigger and whatnot. Especially, yeah, maybe it's going to be something a bit bigger. But, like, the way they set up June, his character is, June is this child of a celestial and a legendary traveler, right? And I imagine there would be a lot more to it. And June's voice as well is not as I think iconic or immediately recognizable as like a Shepard-like thing, right?
I see a lot of potential in this new partnership.
Let me light the way for you.
Target acquired.
Many thanks again for your help.
Talking Toads. Let me just find where June's talking quickly.
Celestial tech. I've got away with celestial tech.
Yeah, like, I've got away with celestial tech. Like, yeah. Not sounding like Commander Shepard.
Let me light the way for you.
Not as memorable. Yeah, not as memorable, right? Not as immediately recognizable as, like, the main protagonist, Which I imagine they might be doing something different from Shepard.
Target acquired.
Stealth in my video game? This isn't Mass Effect. Mass Effect never had stealth.
Many thanks again for your
talking
help. You should have been honest.
This place is forbidden.
It's also interesting we haven't seen any dialogue, right? Also, you can make the vid quieter. It's way louder than you. Damn. Okay. Hold on. Let me make this quickly. Okay. I'm gonna have to do editing.
The price is death.
Okay, cool. What the? My mouse is missing. That's weird. Anyways. Cool. Okay, and start again. Yeah, it kind of does look like a bit of a AA game. Like, which I don't think is bad visually, Zoltan. Yeah, it does look like a game from... Yeah, it does look like a game. It has a Eurojank to it, yeah.
Target acquired.
What European is on this development studio?
Many thanks again for your help.
Mars, whatever.
You should have been honest.
Mars,
This place is forbidden.
I do like the enemy design here. It's sort of like
The price is death.
That's what it means to be a traveler.
Okay, cool. And again, the way he says this is supposed to be like a big line, a big like cinematic, we're here.
That's what it means to be a traveler.
That's what it means to be a traveler. Like, it doesn't sound like Commander Shepard. Yeah, and that is Exodus. Yeah, okay. So as a gameplay trailer, I mean, it demonstrates the gameplay like good enough, which is. Did you like Andromeda? Well, this is Andromeda gameplay, which a lot of people won't really dislike, because people said the good things. The good thing about Andromeda was its like gameplay. So not a lot of people like that, but I think for a lot of people who are coming at this from a Mass Effect perspective, I think they might be a bit disappointed.
Loaded weapon.
One of the things that makes Mass Effect such a iconic and much more engaging franchise than a lot of others is the main character you play as. Commander Shepard, both Femship and Mailship by Mark, are carrying everything, okay? Their presence is what really makes those games. And I imagine if you got any other voice actor, they would not carry as well. You know, they just wouldn't. And then the first time we hear of June, you know, who is supposed to be this like very legendary figure. Again, they are the child of a legend, not just some traveler, not just some born traveler, a legendary traveler. You know, someone who just like is well known and a celestial. And they sound like
Loaded weapon is a hell of a way to greet your new partner.
Especially the way I think that line is kind of delivered, kind of doesn't feel like a Commander Shepard like character, which is obviously not necessarily what they're going for. But I do feel like for people who are looking for a Mass Effect, like spiritual successor of Mass Effect, they're not going to get a Commander Shepard-like character, you know? Mir and Hale were perfect. Yeah, Zeroton, they were perfect. That's what it means to take it. Yeah, Zoltan, that is so true, you know? That's what it means to take a arrow to the knee. That's pretty good. But yeah, gameplay wise, I mean, it looks like Andromeda, which this is not me saying that's bad or whatever, right? I don't think it being similar to Andromeda is bad. It doesn't have the booster pack, but it does have like and we did see beforehand there was this like traversal mechanic, which probably is going to be implemented for puzzles and stuff. Where was it? It's where the guy uses it to like slingshot over like a gap, which I'm not necessarily sure, because Andromeda, due to the nature of having a jump pack, means that it has platforming puzzles and stuff. And since Exodus has a grappling hook, it's most likely also going to... Oh, there it is. It's also most likely going to have a grappling hook. Okay. So a grappling hook means it's going to have... it's going to have like traversal puzzles, which I'm not necessarily sure how I feel about. I don't think it's bad. Also, one thing I find is weird. The trailer title says the Traveler's Creed, but what's the Traveler's Creed? You know, even the description says, as they sacrifice their lives to travel through the Centauri universe on a dangerous mission to save an isolated awakened civilization from enslavement by Celestials. Our service, our sacrifice, discover worlds, seed hope, break empires. We are the Okay. So theirs is, but I'm not necessarily sure if you can feel that throughout the trailer, because we're not really given context to why they're here, right? Here we have them talking like, oh, that's a weird way to meet your partner, and then we have him.
We're burning time. Now that we're all best of friends, let's make each other rich.
Yeah, make each other rich, right? Like, isn't that kind of weirdly antithetical to the Traveler's Creed, which is our service, our sacrifice, discover world, seed hope, break empires? Why do you say we become rich? You know, which I think is an odd thing to say. But yeah, we'll go through the trailer one more time just to spot any things that we might see. Yeah. It likes the weight Shepard had, the voice. Yeah. The voice is really what made Mass Effect, really, really weighty. And that lack, I think, does hurt the game a bit. My favorite space contraption, the gravity grappling hook. Yeah, man, yeah. So, we went through the trailer. Hi. And now we're going to go through just like bit by bit and just see how everything. First up, I want to talk about is the armor here, which I like the armor. It's very sleek. It's very like secure. But and throughout this video, I'm going to make a ardent effort to talk about how this is similar to like Mass Effect. This isn't like how Mass Effect looks at all. If you look at like Mass Effect armors, this is more similar to like how Mass Effect 1's armors were, which were very like skin tight, except for like the Colossus armor, which was the exception, like end game armor. But for most people, they didn't really see it. Like most Mass Effect armor is this like bulky kind of like thing, right? And especially what is very noticeable is we don't really have boob plate armor, you know. So in that way, it's not really like a spiritual successor in the design aspects of it. Like here, even like Mass Effect's bulkiest armor is not as big as the. Oh wait, no, this is mods. Sorry, that's irrelevant. That's not. Now this is Mass Effect armor. A terrible color scheme on a terrible armor. Like Mass Effect's armor looked like this, and this is what Exodus looks most similar to. It's very sleek. It's very like not noticeable, you know. So for people who liked Mass Effect 2's and 3's armors, you're not getting that, you know.
Preparing to transfer now. This is your last chance to bail, June.
Do it.
Now that's a weird thing for them to say, because why did they say that? You know, last chance to bail June. Like, again, we need more like backstory on who June is and why June is doing this, which we will only get when we play the game or they release like a an hour playthrough of the
This is
video.
your last chance to bail, June.
Do it.
I will say though, and I wanted to mention this quickly.
This is your last chance to
June's armor. I do like June's armor. I wonder what like its symbol means. Where is it? Oh gosh darn, there was a nice shot.
For now.
There was a nice shot of it. There it is. Yeah, there's sort of like line imagery, golden with a sort of silver gray. I like it.
Do it.
As for like the enemy designs and stuff, I do like them. You know, they're very like slick, robotic. You know, it definitely fits the vibe that they're trying to go for. You know, this one. And this one is interesting as well. Obviously a mech rusted up. Could be like some more commercial. It's interesting. And here's the one thing. They find people who say this is like Exodus is trying to be hard sci-fi. I'm sorry, man. I'm not necessarily sure there's any scientific papers that will say like, yes, this can actually be a possibility. Like we can form structures like bridges out of nothing, right? That's more of a realm of space opera. A lot of scientists would say like it's possible, but they don't know if it's likely, right? It's like how all scientists will say that, is it possible for us to have instantaneous faster light travel? A lot of them will say it is possible, but not a lot of them will say like, yeah, this is true. Also, another thing I want to say that I do find, I want to point out as well. This is a very Andromeda looking moment, you know, from the bridges forming to the sort of like sleek armor here to the sort of like wide open spaces, you know. It does feel very Andromeda-esque. Can grappling hook. Now this is like really interesting. I like this. I'm not sure what it is, but I like it. Now this is one thing that I find very interesting when it compares to Mass Effect. Mass Effect had neon signs like this. You know, it had its like silver strip and stuff like that. Silver sun strip. Like it had this. It had its like big neon signs and stuff like that. It did have this aesthetic, but this is a lot more less sci-fi, right? And this is maybe part of what Exodus is trying to do, which is this is where the time dilation thing happens, where when you come back to this place, it'll look different, you know. But it is very interesting, like aesthetic wise, because this is not how Mass Effect looked aesthetically, right? Mass Effect didn't have like didn't look like it had physical stuff. A lot of it looked like holograms, you know. The Silver Sun strip looks like most of this is just holograms. The Armax arena doesn't look like it has like actual like neon tubes in the shape of Armax arena, nor does like Tiber's towers or any of this, right? It looks just like holograms, you know, but this doesn't, which is interesting because it looks much more realistic, and by that more generic, which I'm not necessarily sure is what a lot of people would call Mass Effect's art style.
Loaded weapon is a hell of a way to greet your new partner.
And again, as I said before during this video, I don't really think June's voice is very appropriate to like a Commander Shepard like thing, right? Especially the way he approaches it. Commander Shepard isn't necessarily
loaded weapon is a hell of a way to greet you.
Like it's very clear that June isn't like phased by this, but the way Commander Shepard, like Mark Meer would have said this, is a lot more impactful, a lot more weighty. Like you should listen to him, you know. While June is more like a bit of a sarcastic, almost like Han Solo-ish figure, you know. Which is another point I want to make as well, which is kind of sounds like Tom Taylorson's writer in the mannerisms and the tone, right?
A hell of a way to greet your new partner.
So you're June.
We're burning time. Now that
I
we're
will say that I do think this game is very beautiful, you know?
Now that we're all best of friends, let's make each other rich.
Because like so much of the imagery we've had here is very like gorgeous and very, like I think evocative in many ways, you know?
Just here to look pretty.
And again, I do think this is weird that maybe the start of the story is framed as June
friends.
Let's
wanting
make
to
each
get
other
rich, you know?
I'm not just here to look pretty. I've got away with celestial tech.
Sorry, Zoltan. For some reason, my chat wasn't updating. Let me quickly go through. Enemies are cool, but yeah, kind of. You can definitely tell. Zoltan, you make a good point. You can definitely tell that this guy kind of looks like maybe if it was in a Destiny expansion of involving the Fallen, right? The Alexi. It's like, oh, the Alexi have gotten even madder with machines now. They've like created these four-armed creatures, you know. It even has like the sort of multiple eyes that an Alexi has, right? The main character is just a guy. Yeah, it's just a dude, you know. He's just a guy. A more formal Rook. Yeah, kind of a more formal Rook.
Friends, let's make each other rich.
I'm not just here to look pretty.
Interesting device to open it up.
I've got away with celestial tech.
Especially the way he says it like that. Like, I got away with celestial tech. Like, Commander Shepard would have been very, like, serious in that way. Like, I know how to handle celestial tech, right? Or, like, even, like, the Renegade option would have been, like, I know how to do celestial tech. Paragon is, like, I have an ability that allows me to utilize celestial tech, right? Well, Neutral is more of an in-between. Also, I do want to reference, again, Andromeda. This is, again, Hands stretching out. And I'm not necessarily sure if it's just me. I do want people to like tell me like, hey, is this just me? Am I just like seeing too much of this? You know, am I like seeing something where nothing actually exists? But like, look at this, right? Like arms stretching, like over here, right? Like arm is literally stretching out in a sort of similar fashion towards something. You know, obviously not in the same context or the same ideas or whatever, but it definitely looks similar enough where I feel like there's something going on here. And I'm not necessarily sure if it's intentional or not. You know, holy shit, they just let's make a drop on it. Yeah, it kind of does, you know. Or maybe this person sounds like Starfield main character they voiced. Yeah, it does give me that vibe as well, Zeralton. Because for those who don't know, Starfield was actually going to have a voice protagonist. And in one of the New Game Plus things you can have, you can actually hear your character talk. And that character was supposed to be like a voice protagonist. I can't necessarily find it now. But yeah, like you can see like this is I think supposed to be your character, right? But described for this reason. Okay, but which anyways, not to the point. They did have that and you could meet them. I will say one thing that I love that Exodus does that I don't particularly like a lot of sci-fi settings doing is where's the helmet in most scenes, right? I love that Exodus is like, oh yeah, this is how a helmet is put on. The helmet just like opens up, you know, which is like pretty cool. Let's slow this down, okay, to see this, okay? 0.25 times speed. Just opens up and then closes. I love this. I love it when Dead Space did it, and I love it when any other game does it because it makes so much sense to me, and it also just makes it taking it off for like cutscenes where you have to see your character's face a lot more nicer. But one thing I do think that is odd is another thing I want to point out is the helmet isn't as cool as like Mass Effect's like N7 helmet. You know, again, if this is supposed to be a bit of a spiritual successor to Mass Effect, I imagine it should, in some ways... Hold on, let me 2 times slow this down. In some ways, it should have the armor designs look at least somewhat iconic as well. Because this is supposed to be like the first armor you get in the game. And there is nothing that beats like Mass Effect, like the N7 armor, right? The N7 armor from Mass Effect, right? Like this is just like too evocative and too. It ensures that you understand what like an N7 is on so many levels and like who Shepard is as a character. You know, this is just like what they look like. This is what they should look like. It feels right. Exodus though just doesn't necessarily feel like that. You know. Now this is another one of the Awakened, which are apparently like animals that can talk, which I find interesting. I don't necessarily think it's bad that these animals exist. I do think it's very creative in the sense that, oh, Celestials have like experimented on animals, and they've been given these abilities. But I want to know why though, you know, why animals of these kinds, you know, or why Awakened? Also, it does look very... Because Mass Effect was never like a boss fighting game. That was never really the point, but it does seem like boss fights will be a lot more involved environmentally, you know? The most environmental boss fight was like the Shadow Broker, where you had to shoot that giant orb at the sky, and then when you did, it's like, oh, it hurt them, destroy the shields, and you can attack them. Hello, Random Wanderer, hope you're doing well. I probably have to go again soon. No, that's cool. Thanks for joining, you know. And as I was saying, it does seem like the boss fights will be a lot more involved.
I see a lot of potential in this.
Also, yeah, sorry. Also, Omniplay?
I see a lot of potential in this new. I see a lot of potential in this new partnership.
Okay.
Let me light the way for you.
Again, stealth mechanics. I wonder how involved stealth will be in Exodus. Because Mass Effect was never really a stealth game. There were infiltration missions, but never really like we did stealth because stealth, you know? So I wonder how involved that'll be.
Many thanks again.
Again, another like Awakened where they talk and speak, and I'm not necessarily sure how I feel about it. It is interesting. I don't think it's bad. I don't necessarily think it's Mass Effect though, because Mass Effect never really had these things. They just had us talking to other aliens.
For your help. You should have been honest.
And apparently the idea of us going there was to save them, but I don't think this trailer established that firmly.
This place is forbidden. The price is death.
That's what it means to be a traveler.
Now, obviously, we don't have any context for this, and I think maybe a lack of context does like harm this maybe a bit more, because I'm not necessarily sure like what's wrong with what's happening, you know. Now that could be just like we need to see more, but I do think like establishing the sex would help. The guy looks good though. I love how scrungly he looks. He looks very dirty. I don't love it. And that is Exodus. We went through like all of it, and yeah. Overall, I don't think the trailer is bad. I think the trailer is cool. You know, I do think it is interesting. We didn't see any like dialogue like options that we could have selected, especially because like here's the thing, right? When he says that's what it means to be a traveler.
That's what it means to be a traveler.
I wonder if this is gonna be a dialogue choice where we be able to choose it, or if this is just like juniors talking by themselves, you know, which I think one of the things that is cool with Mass Effect and like these sort of voice protagonists entirely is that these moments will have a lot more drama depending on the choice you have. So I wonder when we're going to see those kind of things, right? And if this was one of those moments or not, because throughout this entire time it seems like we've just like let's go back to this one where they nearly shot each other.
Loaded weapon is a hell of a way to greet your...
Yeah, like, this could have felt like, maybe not necessarily for the tempo, I guess, but this could have been a great moment to just have an option show up, and then have us to see, like, oh, this is, where we get to choose our options, you know?
Way to greet your new partner.
So you're June.
We're burning time.
Yeah. But overall, I think it's a cool trailer. It looks absolutely gorgeous. You know, like that's one of the things that I do think that this game has, which is it looks very pretty. The faces, the animations, everything looks really good. Gameplay looks fun. Andromeda has fun gameplay. Who knew? But I guess for more in depth, we'll have to see maybe a bit later. So yeah. Okay, and then that's the part where I'll edit. Back to stream. And stream. What do you guys think? Did you like it? Did you not? Tell me about it. We'll also try to see if we can go through that VOD. If not, then abandon all hope, you know? Okay, so nothing there. Let's go through the comments though quickly, just to see.
Preparing to transfer now.
Oh, that's something talking.
This is your last chance to bail, June.
Do it.
Last chance to bail, dude. Last chance to bail. Okay, let's just quickly see if anything happened here. No. Okay. Cool. Let's see what the comments are like. Hold on, let me just get this ready. Oh, I should stop recording that, yeah. Probably be good. I think people might be overhyping Exodus a tiny bit. Yeah. Yeah. Just a tiny bit, Zoltan. I do feel like some people are maybe overhyping it a bit much. Because all I'm really seeing is just like Andromeda. Like from a lot of aspects, from the sort of armor design to the sort of spaces, to the sort of like implication that you have a special ability that allows you to interact with like ancient tech. Yeah, sure, Shepard had that, but Shepard's ancient tech like access was I can listen to Prothean text messages. Okay, this one says, oh, this is a bit too much, you know. And like that's much it. But June's like Ryder can able to access and use these technologies, right? Well, with Shepard, it was never ever mentioned like how he can use it, other than just like he can understand the Prothean language. It's not the new Mass Effect, it's the new Mass Effect Andromeda. I mean, yeah. Also, is in no way is it better than BioWare's output. Even MEA, I'm sorry. Yeah, even Mass Effect Andromeda, with its issues, I think was a lot more... Was better than most people said, and I feel like is a lot more Mass Effect than Exodus is, you know? Even with its, like, changes in some, like, designs and stuff.
Even ultra hard. That's nice. Pretty hard. That's pretty hard.
Twitch. We're gonna have to do the Twitch thing maybe a bit later. But yeah, but I want to see what the comments are like though. Okay, cool. We get the meme. Whoever's bummed out there's no release date. Okay, sure. Let's go. June and Tom look so good. I also agree with that. I love these devs. They drop content on their own. Okay. Yes. All about the Citadel. I mean, Hype Train. Okay. Most anticipated game. Okay. So mostly it's just like people are excited. I hope this is the end. Okay, Big Dan. Okay. An actual comment. That's not a meme. I gotta be honest, going up against an awakened pissed off Grizzly Bear does make one a little bit nervous, but at the same time, seeing all these worlds and being able to tech makes it worth it. Plus, I'm able to see Took and awakened Grizzly Bear. And make sure time comment how many people across would be able to make that claim. Okay, interesting. The bear looks cool, sure. Little frog dude is cool. So far nothing really else. Feels like a day one buy. The Mass Effect simulators are obvious, okay, but I was hoping for more gameplay variety outside of just guns. Hopefully there's some other stuff. Also seeing the awakened animals in gameplay after reading and listening about them feels kind of surreal. Glad that they're not just inactive NPCs. Okay. I'm not necessarily... No one's really talking about how similar they are. Yeah. And no one's really... Okay. I have faith in the development team. Okay. Facial animations look a little off. Okay. That's an interesting... Facial animations look a bit off. Okay. Sure. That's one of the last things they fine-tune anyways. Okay. I agree. The faces kind of look like Andromeda. They're not that bad, lol, but they do need a bit of work. Luckily, we don't even have a release date. Okay. To be honest, I prefer Andromeda as far as the art style animations, but I'm sure these things have tuned up. Okay. Okay, interesting. One Andromeda mission, so not really much else here. From the Ashes, yeah. Knowing the former Mass Effect devs, okay. Which is weird, because, like, James Dalton isn't even, like, a developer role. He's the head of franchising, you know? It's good to see Mass Effect fans excited for this, okay. This looks great so far. We're intrigued and can't wait to take your time. Master Ranger added Max Spencer, is it you? Very true, you know? Yeah. We're so back, Shepard? I don't know. The only question remains whether Exodus releases before or after BioWare manages to ruin Mass Effect. Nice meme. This looks incredible. Amazing. Finally, a truly sci-fi cosmic experience worth buying. Yo, I don't know what people are saying, you know. What we got was just like a trailer with a song and like not much else. We got some gameplay bits, but we didn't really get what the like people are saying like they're praising like the story and stuff and like the universe and but we haven't really gotten anything, you know? I don't know. I feel like this maybe is just like hyping up a bit much, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. I don't think the trailer is bad, really. Oh, it's just it's just Bio bad. Yeah. The comments are really that. A lot of them are like excited, but maybe it is just me just seeing some of the similarities between Andromeda and the game. But like anything else, I haven't really seen. Let me see if the trailer is beautiful. I mean, I agree. Character creation. Oh, this looks really good. Do we know if there will be a character creator or look forward to the set protagonist? Maybe a character creator. Yeah. Maybe I am the only one who is really feeling this. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Whatever. Never mind, someone made a literal Andromeda. At least it's not Bioware. Yeah. Which I do think is, like, interesting that they did that. Is the stream done now? Can I actually go through it? Or is it still live? It's still live. Gosh darn it, dude.
Ominously in the comments.
Yeah.
So they let us make one.
Yeah,
That's
cool. Tim really wants to make one.
Yeah.
Well, dang. There you go. Okay, well, fantastic. Well, you guys have heard it here first. You now know what.
I now know what.
Again, thank you, James, Chad, and Tim. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Okay, so the VOD's
this will be
gonna be
available
done
on
then.
YouTube as well as all the places that we are later. And yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. We're gonna watch the VOD. So we don't have to deal with like Twitch lagging so much. Nothing here. Okay, cool. So yeah. Okay. That's done. Now actually let's get to the inside bits of this. Okay, cool. Wow, that's done. Now let's get to the actual VOD here. Please be here. No, it's not here. Where is it? All videos. Oh gosh darn it, the guy didn't even have it here. Gosh darn it. What am I supposed to do now? Okay. The guy hasn't like uploaded the VOD yet thing. Which does suck that he doesn't do it immediately. Okay. Whatever. I'm gonna give it like maybe a few minutes and check again. But if it's not, then I'm just gonna like end stream here. And do that other part of the video maybe a bit later. But anyways, like, so what do you all think of it? What do you think of Exodus? Do you like it, dislike it? I'd like to know, personally. Because like, I don't know. I don't think it looks bad. I think I think there is a lot to it, They should. You're very right, Zeralton. Okay, they should have just shown like Dragon Age 2. That is very true. That is very true. That's what I think. That's also what I think as well. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it is just me feeling like, oh yeah, like this is just a video game, and a lot of people are making it more than it seems. Because I feel like if this wasn't having like James Olmon, right, it wouldn't have the same sort of reaction to it, you know, or like any of them. Because I guarantee you, a lot of people don't really know if I don't know. Did the guy start a new stream? Gosh darn it, man! Get off! Let me see the VOD. I might have to do that later. Gosh darn it. Recent broadcasts. Gosh darn it. Like, I wasn't waiting for the game. Now I'm not either. Maybe it's gonna be on Game Pass. Maybe it is gonna be on Game Pass. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna try the game, though I don't necessarily think it really changes my opinion from what I assumed it would be, which is it's going to be similar to Mass Effect in the sense that it's going to pull on a similar thread, but it's not going to be it's not really going to be a spiritual successor to Mass Effect. Like Mass Effect, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is just me, like, being a bit of a wet blanket on some people's enjoyment, you know? Which is just like, I don't know. Like, the game looks cool. It does look great. But I don't necessarily see how this is, like, better than anything that BioWare has made in its lifetime. This just feels like, to me, another, like, game. Especially because, like, one of the things that I find more important to BioWare games than anything else is literally the dialogue, and we haven't seen the dialogue in any of this, right? Like this
is a hell of a way to greet you.
This feels like it's a transit. Like we don't even get a dialogue thing of like zooms into June's face and we see them talk. Well, I mean, here's hoping to actually a super great game and everyone has an epic time with it. But honestly, yeah, I mean, I think the game's gonna be good, but like it's gonna be good in how like most games are good, where it's like it's great, you know. Though I don't know. I feel like a lot of the popularity this game will have maybe will be a bit astroturfed, which I'm you know, But hold on. Let me make an end segment to that video. Okay. So, this is Exodus. It's cool looking. It looks great visually. It has particularly great facial animations. The combat looks pretty good. The environments look really great. The only thing I can have that may be a bit of an issue is I'm not necessarily seeing where everyone is like so excited for this, you know. I like BioWare games. I'm a fan of BioWare games. I've played a lot of BioWare like cloned games, but I'm not necessarily seeing this. There's something I want to show. And maybe this is just me being a bit nostalgic, me not necessarily examining it right. But here is the 2006 beta gameplay for Mass Effect 1. And this one shows a lot. It shows combat, it shows dialogue, it introduces the world. It does a lot to it. You know, you can hear music playing and everything. Mass Effect is a bright universe. And one of the things I think is very important that maybe I think Exodus should have done more of is necessarily showing us how the dialogue system works. Like, again, and just another thing is
a billion lives are hanging in the balance here. I won't let some pissant bartender slow me down.
And Commander Shepard's voice. But we don't necessarily get that same feeling with June. June sounds good. I like June. But if we're saying, hey, let's compare this to Commander Shepard, I don't think June fits the bill. I don't think June sounds as impactful, as like holding the scene as
your new
Shepard.
Partner.
So you're June.
We're burning time. Partner.
So you're June.
Especially because like Shepard is a lot more seen as an older character than, you know, like June seems to be here. It just doesn't necessarily feel too Mass Effect to me. It looks like a great game, and it is a BioWare game in many respects because that's at least what it's trying to ape. But I'm not necessarily sure if it's going to be like a Mass Effect game. You know, there's not a lot of like elements to Mass Effect, especially with some of the designs, like with his boss fight, right? Mass Effect was never really about its boss fights, you know? And the fact that we don't really see anything involving the story is something I find very odd. It looks great. I'm excited for it, and I do want to go for it. But I do think for anyone who's like hyping this up as the next Mass Effect game, you know, I do think I should say you should be wary with caution, you know? Careful, because you might be disappointed that it's not actually literally just Mass Effect, but again. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, mayhaps like and subscribe. And if you really enjoyed it, comment down below and tell me about this. What do you think of Exodus? Do you feel like it's Mass Effect? Do you feel like it's not? Tell me down below. I hope you enjoy your day. Okay, well that's the video. I'm gonna have to then edit it up just to have that going. So yeah. Man, Amir is such an iconic one line and he smashed it. Yeah, really, you know? Like, so much of this, like, beta gameplay, like, obviously it's very rough around the edges, but, like, so much of it is, like, still Mass Effect.
1 billion lives are hanging in the balance here. I won't let some pissant bartender slow me down.
Wait! Hold on! I just remembered. She's in the casino, upstairs. You can't miss her!
Conversations are fluid and realistic. Creating
Hey, Kate Johnson. You know, and like obviously
an
for
emotionally
things like this,
charged
you don't get to see any
experience.
dialogue,
I'm sick of your games. It's time you started giving me...
which is very interesting. But like for the most part, it still retained that idea of like what Mass Effect is, which is a game where you talk a lot and you have these like sort of conversations and dialogue investigations.
The Geth don't know we're here.
They overran a mining facility a couple clicks to the north. They're bunkered in.
We've got civilians trapped in the mines.
And another interesting thing I think maybe I should point out in the video is that I feel like June is not really framed as the leader here. June is framed as, literally, it's June is joining this team, not making a team, but joining this team, you know? Conversations are really realistic. Yeah, I do think Exodus does this well. But like, this is a trailer, and it's being
Loaded weapon is a hell of a way to greet your new partner.
Kind of like cuts itself so many times.
Loaded weapon is a hell of a way to greet your new partner.
So you're
like
June.
It cuts so much we don't really know if this is how the actual conversation happens, or if this is just like the trailer being like this, you know. And I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good game in the end, but like I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are gonna find themselves very disappointed that it's not just Mass Effect again. You know, especially with the ship designs. Like, obviously, this is not going to be, I think, our ship, you know? But, like, I don't know. This doesn't feel as iconic as the Normandy, right? It doesn't feel as slick, you know? Which maybe is just me being, like, someone whose favorite game is, you know, or who likes Mass Effect a lot, you know? Which, cannot wait for this after Mass Effect just seems to go down preaching DEI. Especially with comments like this, where it's like, okay, cool. I love that, you know? A girl with red hair, hope this game is not woke garbage. Funny that. Yes, come on. Bar takes notes to the talent. Okay, sure. I'm not gonna lie, frogs toads excite me. I don't know. Lol, let's not make new ideas and just copy shit from other games. That's interesting. I was expecting what looks like a functional cell system and just move into the last two there. The codes gives you a blank check. Interesting. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure what else to do. I think that is the stream. Thanks for everyone who joined the stream. Who could join anyhow. I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And I think that's it. Unless one of you wants to say something, you know, then I'll definitely like talk about that. Yeah, Exodus looks like another sci-fi game, whereas Mass Effect just felt it stands out in my opinion. It's synced between your Star Wars and the Star Treks of the world. Yeah, especially because one of the things that I think makes Mass Effect really great is that Star Wars, is that you can actually like interact with these like aliens and cultures and stuff like that One of the things I like a lot of Bad Mass Effect, and I'm not really a fan of the direction that Exodus goes into, is no, thank you, Zoltan. Just to finish, is that the aliens we have are just humans but different, you know, that they're fundamentally just different variations of a human, you know, which is fine, right? But I do think that one of the charms of Mass Effect was being able to interact with these characters and being able to like learn about them, these cultures and races and stuff like that. And I wonder if we're going to get that with Exodus, you know. They say that we'll like have conversations and dialogue stuff, but I wonder in what way, you know. Yeah, and I think that's what makes Mass Effect so much more engaging, because you could ask these questions and be engaged in the world that way, you know. Exodus probably has that as well, but I'm not necessarily sure to what extent, you know. But yeah. Alright, not only, alright, Mass Effect not only gives you, this cool world, but, also literally puts you in there. That's the strength of trilogy. Yeah, and Exodus is, like, weirdly framing, I know this is just for a point somewhere later down the line, but it's framing you as someone who joins someone. Commander Shepard, I think one of the charms of it that a lot of people liked about Commander Shepard was the fact that they put you, like, front and center as the, like, character, like, yeah, sure, you're on the mission on behalf of the Alliance, and you're taking orders from your captain, but it's framed that Shepard is, in all regards, their own, like, leader, right? They lead troops into battle, and if it wasn't for, you know, they're literally they're XO, the next in line if Commander Shepard, if Anderson dies, you know, on the Normandy, right? Like, it's very, and especially because the whole thing is like, hey, you, Commander Shepard, are being recruited into the Spectres, you know? It's like, the framing for your character is very obvious that you're playing a leader character, you know? Well, with June, I'm not necessarily sure if that is the same vibe we're getting, you know, which is fair, you know, it doesn't have to literally be the same thing, right? It doesn't have to be that. But I do think if it is supposed to be a Mass Effect spiritual successor, you have to have like a protagonist who is like that, you know? Because to me, it does feel like they're not Commander Shepard. They don't feel like Commander Shepard. They feel more closer to Ryder, like a more mature Ryder than anything else. I think the codex being voiced in ME is a cool feature. Yeah, same as well, Zero Ton. I like that as well. But I am just like rambling at this point, which is incoherent, you know? But yeah. Not much else for me to say. It looks great. Though I do wonder what it'll be like, you know? I don't think the game's gonna be released. Maybe it's gonna be released next year. Maybe the year after. I'm not sure. Would like to see more about it though. Anyways, that has been a stream. I'm rambling off. And so thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed a lot. I certainly enjoyed it, so yeah. If ever you like will have last moment to say, then you can just say it and you can be off. I wish you to finish renovation soon so you can chill and play Veilguard. Yeah. I really want to finish Veilguard and talk about it, you know? Because, like, it's such a cool game, you know? It generally is, like, such a cool game. But no, enjoy Zoltan. Thanks for joining the stream. And thanks for anyone who joined the stream and who watched the VOD. Mayhaps you, like and subscribe, you know? That would also be very cool. Enjoy.